Hey, salute to everybody that's joining me today. We're going to get into this content real quick. My argument has always been in 2025, there are very few victims, mostly volunteers. I know that there's no perfect men out here, but in this environment, based on the current dating and relationship culture and the dating and relationship environment, is my analysis, this is my objective opinion, individual opinion, that the majority of women that you see on the market, the majority of single women that I've seen on the market, have disrespected their way out of good relationships. And much of their conversations and all that stuff is all cap, flexing for social media, just flexing in general. It has no substance. That's why I decided to do this stream, because I saw something the other day. Tasha K did some series with Samantha Lee Gibson, Tyrese Gibson's ex-wife, and she was talking about men not approaching women. Obviously, she's a grifter, tries to get into men's space, acting like nobody knows her history. But let's continue on. So let's get right into the content. We're going to talk about this. And here's the reality of the situation. Regardless of what they say, most women have had many opportunities with good men. Many. Either they've ignored them, or they've chosen poorly, or they've just simply disrespected certain types of men. Let me give you an example of the type of disrespect that you see. Salute to my brother over here, Black Guru. He has his Facebook page. Hopefully I don't get for the music.
This woman is elated about being Miss Independent and not needing a man. But wait till you see what's about to happen just a few days after she posts this video.
Put a finger down if you independent and don't get it. Independent and don't get it.
Now, before I show y'all that video, this is Miss Single Mom Monique right here. Take a good look at her. She don't need a man, remember? My God, look how she look right here with this blonde wig on. The contrast of these jokers, how they really look. This is unbelievable, folks. I can't believe she would even come on camera looking like this. Hold on a minute. I know you're not coming on camera. No, please. Oh, my God. And right before she made that video about being Miss Independent, this is what she was doing. She works at Amazon. She's going off. She's all cocky, right? She's all happy. Look at her. Just popping off, doing all this hand movement and all that other stuff. All right, folks. Here we go. Take a look at this.
I'm literally on the side of the road in North Carolina, and I don't have nobody to call to help me. And what's crazy is I've been stuck on the side of the road for at least 40 minutes, and ain't nobody stopped yet. I'm telling you, I kid you not, if I was in South Carolina and I'm stuck on the road for 15 minutes and I'm already changing my tire already by myself in South Carolina, people gonna stop regardless. I'm like, do you need some help? And I mean, it ain't really nobody's obligation to stop on the side of the road to help anybody. But damn,
brutal.
Like, I don't have nobody. Like, what the fuck? Damn. Independent and don't get it.
Oh, here's a part 2. How did that get under your car?
In some fluid, I don't fucking know. And I literally have no one to call to help me, and I'm scared to call the police because I don't have insurance in my car, and I'm scared that they just gonna be like, "Oh, well, where's your license registration insurance?" Instead of trying to help me get this brick or a piece of wood from under my car. It's just so fucking crazy.
Your ass don't got no insurance either. You can't make this shit up. Our next guest, folks, is she gonna have a post with a GoFundMe up. Let's go look. Oh, and I was right. Look at her now. I am a single parent of 3. I'm reaching out for help. My God, you got 3? I
Oh
thought you
my
only had 1.
God.
I lost my only possession, my car, in a terrible incident. I'm struggling to find a stable home and support for my family. You can't find a home either? What? I thought it was just the car. You can't find a home either? $0. Folks, this is like clockwork, but at least she's
Oh
back
my.
working. Hopefully she can save up some money to get that car fixed. Oh, and right after the incident happened with her car, what does it look like here? She's training for another career to try to make more money than her Amazon job. What kind of chance do y'all think she has? And look at her right here just throwing her bra. She got bras on the floor. Look at this joker. And I can bet you her kids are somewhere in the house in the room. Look at this.
I be whipping this mother car. My purse falling out. Look at this shit. This motherfucker need to be glued on. What?
So I was going to encourage you guys to help Miss Neozia Monique with her GoFundMe, but remember, she's Miss Independent and really doesn't need your help. Now that grew in that she needs housing and she be just whipping this car with the bumper falling off, I think this might be another scam of the BW.
Come in, bro.
This woman is elated about being Miss Independent.
Hey, salute.
I mean, just technique. I mean, just technique. I want to tell.
Salute to Black Guru, man. Peace and blessings to the brother. Again, what is my philosophy on the channel? This is my philosophy on this channel. Let these train wrecks run free. When you get on these dating and relationship apps, or you see these women out here in the streets, especially if even these women, even her, think about how many opportunities she's had to have a man or been in a relationship or had situations where she could have shown men respect. She's shown men respect, where she could have shown a man enough respect where you could have picked up the phone and made a phone call. And I'm sure some man that she's shown respect to would answer the phone and offer her assistance. But again, sometimes you got to let these wild horses run free. And when you hear them complain and cry, it's nothing but alligator tears, because there's a difference between pontificating exaggerated utterances and actually dealing with life experience. Real life shit happens. Shit breaks. Cars break. Houses break. I mean, if you don't have the skill set to fix those things, they don't fix themselves. And I was making a statement yesterday. Car repairs now, you're talking about labor. You go to the dealership, you're talking around $200 an hour. To a decent shop, it's between $175 to $200 an hour shop rate to get things fixed. Shop rate. We're not talking about shade tree mechanic. We're talking about a decent shop, right? Shop rate is about close to $200 an hour to get shit fixed. And you got to again, most of the times a dude would help them if they weren't disrespectful, but they can't help it. Again, they're no victims. They're just volunteers. And I can't see any man that she's treated with respect just letting her be out there on the side of the highway like that. So it was all that bravado, all that conversation didn't mean nothing. They act like they don't need men. They need men like I wouldn't say a crackhead needs crack. The crackhead really don't need no damn crack. He's just addicted. But they need men. They just can't. Their egos and this feminism and this whatever nonsense that they have in their life, or they surround themselves with a certain type of men. Like, I give you an example. The type of dudes they be around. Well, I'm not gonna play that clip. Like they make these disrespectful videos. Let me give you an example of how disrespectful they are. They make these disrespectful videos, right? Remember that one I shared the other day? It's like these disrespectful videos. And nobody's trying to help these women many times. Like, look at this one right here in the car. Trying to shame men into spending money. Disrespectful videos. Look at it.
So correct me if I'm wrong, but I personally feel like broke take vacations. feel like broke men cannot go on vacation for 4 days because they only worry about getting money or getting back to money. But I feel like a successful man, a man with some money put up, they want to enjoy the fruit of their labor. They want to go on vacations, to drink some margaritas, to be by the bar, to go experience life. That's just how I personally feel. Correct me if I'm wrong. Have you ever been on vacation with a who was broke and was he wanting to get back home? Or have you been on vacation with a rich who wanted to ball out and stay out there? They was like, we finna move out here. You had to extend the trip because nigga had so much money to spend.
It was like this, I just start laughing, man. Because
that's being the part when I made it. So you hear the disrespect, the disrespectful tone, the disrespectful attitude. Now, this is a portion of the women, but I want to give respect to the women that are not like this. But it's y'all's job to correct these types of women. Again, disrespecting men, calling them broke, calling them dusty, and then get mad when dudes leave you on the side of the highway and you stranded, or dudes won't answer the call in the middle of the night. So, hey, salute my brother Red Falls Black. You guys make sure you hit the like button coming through. Let me make sure I got my likes going on right now. But they're no victims. They're just volunteers. And they've had opportunities for relationships with men, and they've screwed it up because they live in a delusional world. They've screwed up relationship with men. Now, I'm not talking about the small fraction of women that can make a good case and a good argument that they've been with a bad man who abused them and neglected them. Generally speaking, they've just been disrespectful. You say, exactly. It's a reality show. And what's happening now, hey, look, Jerome Powell didn't drop no interest rates yesterday. So you will expect more people repoing these cars. The Federal Reserve didn't drop interest rate yesterday. There's going to be a whole lot of pain, a whole lot of brokenness, a whole lot of people, can I hide your car? Can I hide my car at your house? No, pay your car note. They'd be like, can I hide my car? You can't hide your car over here. Them tow trucks gonna come find them cars. These dudes be out here having tracking devices on these cars and shit. They're gonna find these cars. We're gonna move this from there. They're gonna find these cars, But this is the environment that they have created by shaming and disrespecting men. Let me get that out of there. So we got to go with our next subject, because this is really what drew me into this content. Hold on one second. Here you go. Stand by. Let me see who's joining me today. 8. Yeah, social media is really ruining these chicks' life, man. Absolutely. I totally agree. Stand by for a second. I've got so many clips and so many videos up here. It's crazy. It's funny, right? Anyhow, let's move right along. What's up, my brother? Red Pill Science, salute, man. Salute to you, man. Yeah. But this is when you really can't correct these women. One of the things I've learned is don't even try to correct them. Let these train wrecks crash. Let them do whatever they're going to do and whatever else, man. You just let's let them crash out. We got, let me share a screen with this one. Add to the stream. Let me remove these wild horses shit from there. What's going on? Salute to you, my brother. Salute to your brother, Tim. Of course, my brother. Salute to you, Tim. Hey, appreciate your membership donation the other day, man. I appreciate that. Now, you guys, you want to support the channel, hit the like button. Likes are free. But let's get this count. I got 11 likes in a row. We're going to talk about grifters. You see? Again, a lot of times, a lot of these women try and rewrite the narrative. Well, we know that Samantha Lee Gibson is a male space grifter, as many are. Fair use. Let me put this link in there. Lately, Tasha K has been cooking some of these women for the goofy talking points or the goofy conversation. And sometimes it takes she has her issues. But sometimes it takes a woman to cook some of these women when they come with these goofy talking points. Now, we know what Therese is. Therese, our brother, he's been known to do a little bit of simping now and then. Well, a lot. But he married this woman in good faith, hoping that she would be a good wife. But now, she grifts in male spaces. And whatever goofy-ass dudes support her, shame on you. These thirsty ass dudes, these thirst subscribers watching these women ain't never gonna give you the time of day. But we have a bunch of men that support these women. Shame on you, knowing what she did to my brother Therese. Unfortunately, our brother Therese. Unfortunately, there's no accountability in this society for women. So, and there's a whole lot of men that's at fault for simping for these women, even after their treasonous history. We can give an good example. Clay Thompson and Meg Thee Stallion. These dudes don't care. They have no standards. But let's move along. Let's hope I don't get no copyright strike. Fair use.
Has a message for you women's, okay? Apparently, I guess maybe she's out in public or she's watching men on social media and she, since she's been out on social media and been single and divorced, now she feels like she can speak on relationships. She wasn't even in her marriage 2 days. She got that baby, got that child support, got out. Didn't want no parts of that man, okay? She just sits on the floor in her townhouse, folding clothes, giving relationship advice, and ain't no other relationship around. And so when she came out with this message the other day, I was like, who's she talking to? Go, Jasmine.
To understand why that has died down because of, I think women, when we post them in, you're trying to embarrass them.
Pause. I didn't know I was going to start right there. So she's basically talking about why men won't approach women in public. So she's obviously a beautiful woman, and she's claiming that men approaching women has died down, and this is the reason why. Listen to her. She on the floor in that townhouse again, making a...
Now, let's cut the cap now. What she's doing is capting and projecting nonsense out here. Samantha Lee Gifford Gibson is a beautiful woman. She has a lot of men that are going to approach her. Men that are just based on the physical alone. If she's outside, maybe she spends a lot of time inside with the baby, but just walking outside, she's going to get opportunities from men just by maybe not the men that she wants in terms of those men that know her history. But if Meg Thee Stallion can put a man in jail and still get a guy like Klay Thompson to pay some attention, I have no more idea of boundaries that a simps that would not go to. These dudes will eat out of the trash can. These dudes have no respect for themselves. If Megan Thee Stallion can put a man in jail and create chaos out here with all this twerking and whatever else, and still have Klay Thompson dating or whatever, there's no longer any parameters to the levels of what these dudes will do. So Samantha Lee Gibson can go out here and dudes will give her attention any day, all day long. Is she just attractive enough to overcome those barriers? Unfortunately, she may not get a certain type of dude to marry her, but she'll get attention and she'll get thirst attention. So this is all cat. And what she's doing is just created a channel and she's caping to her to her thirst subscribers. Well, she can't. That she can't get. Yeah. She can't get high caliber dudes to like marry her, but they certainly will put some sausage in her. They will put some sausage in her. I mean, Brittany Renner is a good example of that. Brittany Renner looks good. You know, Brittany Renner is Klay Thompson's dear brother. I'm saying, like Brittany Renner, like she got that dude to do some fake marriage with her. What's the dude? The dude that's borderline alphabet, the rapper that's borderline alphabet, to do some fake marriage because she's a good-looking woman. So they always have options for sausage and maybe these overnight relationships. But again, this is not a victim. This is a volunteer. This is a volunteer. They created this environment, you know. Exactly. Yeah, these simps be doing all kinds of crazy shit, man, out here. You saw the Zion Williamson. Dudes be doing some simps. So she has a bunch of thirst subscribers. And maybe she spends a lot of time inside with her baby. But this woman is going to get approached just for physical pleasure. Men are going to want to talk to her. But let's continue on. And she's capping, she's pandering to her male audience. She's making content, trying to sympathize with men, trying to get a little bit of subscribers. But she's just basically ripped the heart out of the chest of that man. Like some alien heart chest smashing, ripped his heart out. You said 11 p.m. dude already giving her sausage. She wants another rich commitment from a simp. Absolutely. Absolutely. Or she wants him to come back to the house. She wants Tyrese to come back to the house. She's not going to respect him because she's already disrespected herself a way out of a relationship. Like, there's no victims. Most of these women have disrespected their way out of a relationship because they're just plain outright disrespectful, you know. But let's go. Let Tasha K cook her because, again, sometimes you need a woman to cook these women. Go ahead, Tasha.
Video. Let's go.
You understand why that has died down because of, you know, I think women, when you post them in, you're trying to embarrass them for being pursuing or being intentional and try to call them names. I do think that has made more men step back and not do it or put themselves out there. But I still think that's wildly attractive. So I love that lion energy. I love the lion energy. And I think that's the role I feel like men should play in that process. But when it comes to relationship, obviously it's about being a good team. I think we make it harder than what it is, but it's about being a good team.
Teammate for 2 days. Listen, I just find it very ironic and disingenuous that she would sit on the floor of an apartment that her ex-husband is paying for and try to give us some sort of advice as to why men are not approaching her because they feel like they're going to be blasted.
Pretty much.
And it's always the projection for me because I'm like, the only person that got on this internet to blast they man was you. Was you. And the reason it's died down in your life is because of you. They don't want to be Tyrese crying on the internet. I'm sorry, Cryreese. They do not want to be, what more do you want from me? You made that man look pathetic. And now you're upset because everyone knows who baby mama you are. They know how bad you did him. And now you're mad that no one is taking the time to hit your DM, to want to take you out, remarry you, approach you, and you want to say it's because women are blasting men and they're feeling uncomfortable, and then you're saying, well, I still think it's a great thing. That's a major line for me. Like, you can do it. Nobody's gonna do it because you were the first to do it. You came to the internet about your man while he was still paying your bills.
Yeah, and she took him to court to try get some absorbent amount of child support a month, like $50,000 or more a month. She basically tried to clean him out. And at the same time, she was getting spousal support, like trying to get she was getting like $20,000 a month in child support, but she was going for like 50 or more, like 100,000 a month, trying to literally, and plus he's paying for all of her legal fees. So she's trying to basically bankrupt a man, drain him dry. And again, now she's a men's content creator advocating for men. Yeah, advocating for men, my ass. See, behavior is everything. Behavior is everything. You see what these women say versus what they do? Like I showed you that first clip, right? I gave you the first clip. Like, this is mad. Let me remove this from the stream. Mad crazy. You know, like we had the Black Guru Exhibit A. Where's she at? We got to bring back Exhibit A. Hold on right here. Now, this is an example of how this disrespectful situations work. This is like crazy, right? How they, let me see, right there. We got to share this. This is like a classic. We got to use this bad boy. We'll lose some other clips, but let's continue on. I want you to see the disrespect that you see from these women.
Woman is elated about being Miss Independent and not needing a man. But wait till you see what's about to happen just a few days after she posts this video.
Put a finger down if you independent and don't get independent and don't get it.
Now, before I show y'all that video, this is Miss Single Mom Monique right here. Take a good look at her. She don't need a man, remember? My God, look how she look right here with this blonde wig on. The contrast of these jokers, how they really look. This is unbelievable, folks. I can't believe she would even come on camera looking like this. Hold on a minute. I know you're not coming on camera. No, please. Oh, my God. And right before she made that video about being Miss Independent, this is what she was doing. She works at Amazon. She's going off. She's all cocky, right? She's all happy. Look at her. Just popping off, doing all this hand moving and all that other stuff. All right, folks. Here we go. Take a look at this.
I'm literally on the side of the road in North Carolina, and I don't have nobody to call to help me. And what's crazy is I've been stuck on the side of the road for at least 40 minutes.
Whoa.
And ain't nobody stopped yet. I'm telling you, I kid you not, if I was in South Carolina and I'm stuck on the road for 15 minutes and I'm already changing my tire already by myself in South Carolina, people ain't nobody obligation to stop on the side of the road to help anybody. But damn, and I just want to say, like, I don't have nobody. Like, what the fuck? Damn.
Independent and I'm getting it.
Oh, here's a part 2.
Oh shit. So she's basically a freaking train wreck. You can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up. But this disrespect. They're disrespectful. And they wonder why they get the outcomes that they get. And nobody wants to help them. Because what they don't understand is people watch these videos on social media and dudes build up a wall. They like, yo, man, I ain't messing with these disrespectful women. Respect gets to a lot of weight, let away in this world. Because a lot of good brothers out here that don't mind, that you know, there's a lot of good people out here. But if you keep disrespecting men, you're not going to get anybody to do anything for you when you need them to do something for you. And this is the fundamental problem that you have with this society. They've gotten so used to talking crap to men for the last 50 years. So all these women in these relationships, and you're seeing it right now with these marriages, when you get on these dating apps, right? 9 times out of 10, you're talking to a woman that has disrespected her way out of a relationship. We saw that clip the other day. So look at her going through all these motions of needing a man and whatever else. 9 times out of 10, the women that be shaming men be one check away from absolute disaster. Absolute disaster like this chick right here. Just absolute disaster.
The
hell is going on in there?
I don't fucking know.
How did that get under your car?
Leaking some fluid. I don't fucking know. And I literally have no one to call to help me, and I'm scared to call the police because I don't have insurance in my car, and I'm scared that they just gonna be like, "Oh, well, where's your license registration insurance?" Instead of trying to help me get this brick or a piece of wood from under my car. It's just so fucking crazy.
Your ass don't got no insurance either. You can't make this shit up. Our next guest, folks, is she gonna have a post with a GoFundMe up. Let's go look. Oh, and I was right. Look at her now. I am a single parent of 3. I'm reaching out for help. My God.
But they also do that too, you know, in terms of shit, no car insurance. Even worse, many of them don't even have any life insurance. You see, like a lot of people with these GoFundMe accounts, they just don't like, I mean, a lot of people, especially Black people, is synonymous with not having life insurance. I mean, some jobs attach a death benefits to your employment, like your pension and retirement plan for certain jobs and certain career paths. But there's a lot of situations where people die and they have to raise money. And that's, again, that affects generational wealth because you don't have anything set aside for your kids or any insurance policies. And that burden is put on kids and families. So you tell me that this is the epitome of failed matriarchal culture. You don't have a father or uncle or anybody else that you just burning bridges all over the damn place. Let me get that disaster out of here. I mean, let me get, she's out. But, obviously we got to continue on and let these wild horses run free. You know my philosophy on the situation. There's nothing you can do about it. You can't save them. You can't talk to them. You can't reason with them. And we want to, and it's not just, it's not just, Black women. Like we can go around the culture. It's not just Black women. 1 second. I'll give you an example. We did the clip the other day, right? Remember this chick right here? Again, we talk about the disrespect. Remember this chick from the other day? So this woman, white woman, because again, this has no race. This is a modern woman thing. This woman is married to a good man because, again, she hasn't tasted the Serengeti. Because a lot of these women think that there's a social media man tree. In their mentality, this is what they think, right? This is women's view of the world. The modern women's view of the world. They think there's an abundance of quality men that wants to take them serious and make a commitment to them based on what they bring to the market, their personality, their femininity. They don't believe they have to compete for men because they have a vagina. And most men are horny and want to have sex. So they mistake sexual desire and interest. Men's testosterone level is 300, or measured 300 to 1,000. Women is like what, 15 to 70? That's a huge difference in testosterone. So they mistake men's desire to mate with actually men's desire to marry them or be in a long-term relationship or claim them as their women. And that's the biggest mistake. You have a lot of options for sausage. Yes, you do. You have a lot of sausage options, but you don't have a lot of marriage and long-term relationship options. So this is the delusion of social media. Social media has created this delusional mindset. And that's why these women are so bold. Not only that, we have a situation, especially in marriages, with the laws. Everything that man brings to the relationship is basically held and reinforced by the state, the marriage laws, child custody laws. So society in general will shame that man to take care of his family. Like, you don't take care of your wife and your kids, you loser, you derelict, you degenerate. So regardless of how that woman performs in that marriage, the nurturing, the care, the sex, the caring for that man, that's all discretionary. But what he has to do, provide, protect, safety, all that things, that's mandatory. But what she brings to the relationship is discretionary. And there's no system to reinforce what she brings to the relationship. Her grandma is not going to yell at her. Her mom is not going to get mad at her. The community is not going to back her up. Nobody's going to support that man in the relationship. So basically, he's basically at the whims of a woman's virtues. Or if he's a dude that just walks right out and say, F this. And then, he become one of those Kaiser Soze mentalities where you just like, because once you get to the situation, you start compromising, it becomes the death of 1,000 needle pokes. Once you start compromising with these women, it becomes like a power grab, one way, she's got a chisel every day, chipping away at your manhood, your masculinity, to the point where you just walk around as a shadow of an old man. So, and the fact that the state laws are in place and the state gives this woman a tremendous amount of power in this state marriages. Marriage before the state, good. We have a balance of community, power, society, and whatever else. Marriage with the state heavily empowers a woman unless she's with a psychopath or a broke degenerate. Then you can't get blood out of stone. But majority of times, so we see this disrespect. I'll give you an example. Let me get that sausage out of there. Situation. I want a divorce from my husband. We played this clip the other day. I'll play it again for those who didn't watch it.
I don't know if I'm going to actually post this because this is super vulnerable for me and I'm a pretty open person. But earlier this year, I told my husband I wanted a divorce. And this would probably shock a lot of my friends and my family because I hadn't told anybody. Okay. I walked myself through the logistics of where would I live? How would we split the time with the kids? Who gets the dog? Where, all of those things. Okay. Had a full breakdown. I feel like I have been searching for something in my relationship that we don't have for the whole time we've been married, which has been 10 years. There is not a single thing about my husband in and of himself that I do not love. Let me be very clear about that. He is the most self-disciplined, loyal, hardworking, good person that you could meet.
So he's the most self-disciplined, hardworking, loyal person that I can meet. And she rewards him by getting on the internet and putting marital business out on the atmosphere. Disrespectful behavior, dishonorable to the institution of marriage. Disrespectful. But this is what we've created in this society over the last 50 years. Talking to men goofy, disrespecting men. So this guy has to provide for his wife and his kids, bust his ass, to have to go around and people probably tell him, look, your wife is on TikTok again. Your wife is on TikTok again, putting the family business out there. She rewards this good man with disrespect. Nothing wrong with the man. Just what happened is she's been, you know what the deal is? That shit, this is what happened right there, that social media shit. She thinks it's the illusion of options that these women have and this power that's reinforced by the state. She has an insurance policy, so she continues to disrespect this man. Let's continue on.
This planet. And that is probably the reason, that is the reason why I have not left. Okay. Our relationship and what my expectations are for my marriage and what they always have been are not met, right? Which I don't know if anybody's are. The reason that pushed me to even bring up divorce and talk about it was the fact that I feel like I can't be myself with my husband. And it's really confusing because I'm 32 years old. I am a mom of 3 and I still don't know who I am. So for me to be like, oh, I can't be myself or you don't love me for who I am isn't really fair because I don't know who I am.
So you're willing to break up your family of 3. You've already thought through and worked out in your mind the logistics of how you want things to go, all the way down to the dog. You have a phenomenal man that is faithful to you, that apparently is taking care of business on top of things. There's no financial lack per se or anything like that. And so essentially what you're telling us is that you're bored.
Pretty much, precisely. So when you get on these dating apps and you see these tragedies, just remember they've had a history of destroying good relationships, most of them. There are some women that left relationships for good reason, but the majority of them are women in 2025 are women like this, right? They've wrecked their homes. You're dating home wreckers most of the time. That's why you got to do a thorough background investigations on these women, these single women, especially if they look halfway decent or not. You almost have to do like a FBI investigation on these women and look at the track record. You need a relationship Carfax because the majority of them have been home wreckers. They've been destroyed or created chaos for their own situations in life. They've had good men. They've had opportunities to date men. They may tell these trauma stories, or they may make up a narrative of what a guy has turned into a piece of crap, or what a piece of crap my ex is and what abuse is. I'll give you an example. And you think these women would get better with age? They just get worse. Let me give you an example of what I'm talking about right here. Age doesn't improve this delusion. Age doesn't make these women any smarter. Because again, this social media thing has no boundaries. It has no boundaries. They believe that there's countless amounts of men out here There's dudes, they believe, because nobody tells them the truth. So even, this is what's breaking up these marriages, these relationships. They believe there's a countless amount, after they go out here in the dating market and they get ran through by multiple men. So you think the old is better? You think I'm a 50-year-old guy. And I'll tell you right now, even when I talk to women around my age, you might as well be talking to a 21-year-old. They have stunted in their growth. Many of them are leading with their sexy. They're leading with their sexy. And they're trying to leverage their sexy. They're not trying to leverage their delicious lasagna, their comfortable, clean house, their nurturing, their mental maturity, the fact that they have real skill sets that separates them from a younger woman. No, they think that their box should be able to garner them the type of man that they want. So they're leading with their sexy, even at an advanced age, which is a product of the delusional state of mind that has existed, but in the current marketplace that we have right now. This is what we have. This is what we're dealing with. So let's go to Exhibit A of what we have is this arrested development, delusion. They talk about Peter Pan syndrome for men. These women's brain is hooked on delusion. And an example of this is, let's go to even the old women. So older women don't think you get anything better because they're delusional crazy too. Like again, the example, Exhibit A. Look at this woman, 66 years old. She's been married for what, 33 years. She divorced her husband and got out here. She got out here in the market. Look at this woman. I mean, she's a fossil. She divorced her husband and gets out here and dating. She believed that there's some old dude sitting around that was going to be better than her husband. Let's continue on. Salute.
Divorce hurts. And divorce is 60.
Fellas, welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about a woman who divorced her husband of 33 years, thinking she'd find happiness and freedom on the other side. But what she got instead was regret, loneliness, and tears she couldn't hold back. The grass isn't always greener, and sometimes it's not even grass at all. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more content that cuts through the noise and speaks the truth.
I should have known. And these people are so excited to buy this house. So excited. There's not another house in the whole neighborhood, not even the brand new ones, that sold as quickly as ours. There's houses in our neighborhood that's been on the market over 200 days. Ours was on the market 6 days. I know. Well, he has a $55,000 tax bill. And I'm not even sure 100% if that's going to affect me.
Since I'm under a gag order and I can only say so much, I can say shame on you. Going through a divorce at 66 years old, when you have proof that you absolutely deserve that request. It's very wrong for your adult children to get involved and make opinions. Even your adult children's spouses, no matter what the gain or no matter the loss, that's something that should stay between the people who are divorcing. And I'm not worried, and this isn't the final say-so, because God will have the final say-so. I'm going to make it to the other side of this divorce, and I'm going to be happy when I get out on the other side, and I'm going to be free. I'm going to be there. You'll see. I don't need your permission, nor do I need your approval. I'm going to make it.
This woman is 66 years old, has been married for 33 years, and is now going through a divorce. She straight up said she's leaving her husband because she wants to be free and doesn't want to die unhappy. That's right. After 3 decades of marriage, building a life together, she just decides that now she needs her freedom? Here's the thing. Freedom from what exactly? A man who stayed by your side for over 3 decades? A man who probably sacrificed, provided, and grew old with you? And now that the thrill is gone and life is settled, you suddenly want to chase happiness at 66 like it's some wild adventure waiting on the other side of a courtroom? This is what happens when people treat marriage like a temporary phase instead of a lifelong commitment. We don't talk enough about how modern women have adopted this idea that personal happiness always comes before duty, loyalty, and legacy. She didn't leave because he was abusive or unfaithful. No, she just didn't feel happy. And that's the mindset that's ruining families. A generation raised on instant gratification thinks that peace and consistency equals boredom, and that anything short of constant excitement must mean something's wrong. Let's be honest, happiness comes and goes. No one feels happy every day, even in the best relationships. That's why commitment matters. That's why vows say for better or worse. Not until I get bored.
So the reality of it. So all these guys, whatever. So in the current environment, because there's so many distractions, especially with social media, we got TikTok, we got all this, again, they don't have real friends that they can talk to anymore. So they take their business to the internet. So the internet, the same internet that has given them bad advice, the TikTok videos, these relationship gurus have told them, girl, they've convinced them that they're unhappy. The internet has convinced them that they are unhappy. And even a woman as old as this, still believes that she has a tremendous amount of options out here because they've sold her a bill of goods. That's why it's a shame that, you see all these people are really destructive because nobody tells them the truth anymore. I mean, you can put the truth on the back of a missing person's carton, that a milk carton, put the truth on a milk carton because it's absent from these women's lives. And there's no masculine, patriarchal guy that's telling them, look, you crazy as hell. You lost your damn mind. And they won't even listen because they got all these women out here encouraging women to destroy their relationships with men out of bored because they're bored. 33 years and she pulls the plug. Like, what is out here? This is the type of woman that end up in Gambia and shit. Walking the beach in Gambia. Let's continue on. She'd be up in Gambia, walking the beach in Gambia. Everybody like, these old ladies in Gambia walking with these young African men and shit. She's a little too old for the Caribbean. Caribbean right now, the fat chicks, the fat black chicks and the fat white chicks, has got Caribbean on lock. The old women like this got to go all the way to Africa. The standards are a lot lower.
And now, after throwing away 33 years of marriage, she's going to find out that the dating market isn't exactly welcoming to 66-year-olds who just now realize they want to explore life. This is the harsh reality. Modern freedom often just looks like isolation in disguise. And the saddest part is, when it all hits and the loneliness creeps in, society won't be there to save her. Her freedom will be her burden to carry. Actions have consequences, especially when you throw away the very person who was willing to walk through life with you.
Divorce hurts. And divorce at 66, when you don't know what tomorrow's going to hold, is scary. Not that I don't trust God. Oh. I just don't know anymore. Forgive me for not going live tonight. I'm here by myself, and I need to be here by myself right now. This is not how it's supposed to be. I'm going to contact my therapist and I'm going to schedule and get in as quickly as I can. I'm hurting. I've never been here before. I'm hurting. Please just pray for me. I want to tell y'all that I've got it all figured out, but I don't have it all figured out. Today is not going to be a day that I can smile. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
This woman openly admitted that divorcing at 66 hurts, and that she's never been in this place before. Of course it hurts. You spent 33 years building a life with someone, only to throw it all away in search of freedom and some undefined idea of happiness. Now reality is setting in. It's not glamorous. It's not empowering. It's painful, lonely, and unfamiliar, because you willingly walked away from stability thinking there was something better out there at 66. Here's the thing. People don't talk enough about the consequences of impulsive decisions wrapped in the language of self-discovery. No one told her that the grass isn't greener, especially when you've reached the later stages of life. There's no parade waiting on the other side of that divorce. There's just silence. And suddenly, you're not just divorcing your husband. You're divorcing your routine, your comfort, your shared memories, your legacy. And now, after saying you want to be free and happy, you're also admitting that it hurts. That's not freedom. That's regret creeping in. Because while you were busy chasing a feeling, he was probably still willing to stay and honor the vows you both made. At that point, it's not about love fading. It's about priorities shifting. And when self-centeredness wins, commitment always loses. This is what people don't understand. Marriage isn't just about how you feel. It's about what you choose. Feelings are fleeting. Loyalty is not. And when you break that bond after 33 years, you're not starting over. You're starting alone. That's a big difference. Especially when your friends are with their grandchildren and you're left trying to find purpose on dating apps or spiritual retreats. So yes, it hurts. And it should. Because deep down, you know you traded something priceless, a shared life, for a fantasy. And now the silence is louder than the freedom ever was.
I have never been so loved on. I've never been so loved on in my entire life as I have. One of my recent videos, I didn't even know if I was going to be able to survive it going out this hospital. I didn't know.
So again, sitting in the dark, listening to religious music, coming on the internet for emotional and psychological support, things that should be restricted to the family, the community, the church, whatever support networks people used to have. But now everybody's on social media. And again, these are all alligator tears. The same way this woman could be crying to the internet. Could you imagine the level of disrespect that probably existed in that home? And could you imagine the level of delusion? Because in the current climate we have right now, familiarity in relationship breeds resentment and disrespect most of the time. And again, this is one of those women you see up in Gambia. Should I play a video of the Gambia gigolos down there at the beach in Gambia, right? All alligator tears, man. All alligator tears. So that's why I really talked about this. When you see these women out here today, they're not victims. They're volunteers. They've chose to destroy relationships, destroy households. We don't know what's going on in these households. But if you look at the internet, what did she say that this man did wrong? Other than the fact that she got tired of being in that relationship. He probably got boring. He probably got uninteresting to her. And she wanted out of the situation. But what exactly did he do wrong? Is what I'm trying to figure out. She hasn't said what he did. What was his transgression? What was his sin? What did he do wrong in the relationship? I'm still waiting to hear that. I didn't hear Maybe you guys heard it. But when you get on these apps and you look at this dating market right now, you know, I made the term that you're dealing with trash can dating right now. It's trash can dating, pure trash can dating. You're dealing with people in terms of, for men, dealing with women that have had opportunities that have totally violated relationships. There's some dude, you know, there's some dude that just walking down the street. You see the women, like, yo, this woman look good. Wow. How is she still single? Well, some will make the argument that none of them are single. They aren't single. Then you have these dudes and these. One of the things that irks me the most is when some of these brothers talk about men leveling up and becoming better for the women that they want, not considering, now, don't get me wrong, men should level up and become the best version of themselves. But this idea that they're leveling up, becoming the best version of themselves, and there's this huge pool of women that are good quality, long-term relationship women to choose from, that's where you can miss me with that. I think if you talk about long-term relationship and the possibility of marriage, I think we're down to about 5%. 5%. Because of the internet, because of social media, because of the developments over the last year, I think we're down to 5%. In terms of long-term relationship, 5%. You're dealing with the 5% women. And many of them are, the most of them who's been out here on the market for a while are just purely walking disasters. So you can level up all you want. That's why when I talk about young men leveling up, it's about financial freedom, early retirement, living the best life you can live, having options, being able to travel the globe and live a purposeful life. And if you meet the 5% woman on your journey, you see, your higher status doesn't mean you're going to meet the 5% women. Many of the people that are still married to that one, maybe the people, even in my generation, Generation X, they met that 5% woman when they were broke. Most of the dudes who met that woman met her like 20 years ago when they were broke. There was no level up for whatever better women. No, they met that woman 20 years ago when they were broke, and they built a life together with that woman. So the amount of money and the amount of success you have doesn't necessarily determine the quality of women. Because I'm Gen Xer, and I remember women that have been in high school and college, and they're lawyers and professional degrees that are complete and absolute 304s. So you're leveling up to meet one of them. You just have an educated, sophisticated 304. What does better mean? Because remember, all of them have been enjoying sexual liberation because we're you know, it's feminism, it's a gynocracy. So just because you have a master's degree, that doesn't mean you haven't been ran through and ramrodded in the fraternities and out here running through men and getting ramrodded out here and passed around. You know, some of them get passed around just as much as these hood chicks. Look at a chick like Ebony K. Williams. She said she's tried them all. So you leveling up to meet Ebony K. Williams, who's been ran through? So we can't use these women as a motivator to level up. Level up is about your own life, living the best life you possibly can, leveling up on your health, leveling up on your money, leveling up on your well-being. Now, if you find the 5% women that you want to share your resources with, that can be in addition to what you already got, or that meets you in the beginning, and you two can rise together. Hey, great, you hit the lottery. But this idea you're going to come out here on this leftover shin new woman market, and just because you've made yourself the best version of man you can make, You have to really, really, really look and dig. Shit, good luck with them dudes. It's bad. Yeah, it's bad, man. It's tough. It's tough. Because the majority of women weren't raised to be wives. Let's be honest. We can make an argument. I would say even in the Black community, a lot of the men were raised to be son husbands. A lot of the men in the Black community, or most of these communities, many of them, because we have a high rate of single motherhood in this country, most men were raised to be son husbands. A huge percent of them. And you talk about dude actually having like a masculine father, like a masculine authoritative leadership father that holds people accountable, man, far and few between. Because I've seen a lot of simp fathers raising princesses and soft dudes that's out here, these egalitarian type dudes that like to cater to women's emotions and shit like that, not really deal and live in their masculine and their truth. So we have a community like, but I mean, the Black community, they raise a lot of men to be son husbands and subservient. This is a matriarchal culture. And then they raise a lot of the girls to be independent, strong, don't need no man. Well, so they say. So you have a different. So when you talk about leveling up to meet better women, you know, it's like if you want to meet the probability to meet better women is when you're young. Like you say, you're in your early 20s. You're 25 and she's 21 or 22. That's your best chance to meet better women when you're young. Because once you get to a certain age, women start getting past 30. The question is, what has she been doing all these years? She may be single, but that doesn't mean she's celibate. And so what has she been? She hasn't been married in all these years. She hasn't been celibate. So she's been going through boyfriends, getting imprinted, going through trauma. And so it doesn't matter what her education level is or what her quote unquote status is, because social status doesn't necessarily equate to quality woman. She may have a good quality, higher social status, but she could be like an Ebony K. Williams, Randu, or just so disagreeable and distasteful to be in a relationship with. You're basically signing up for C and B torture. So is she a good quality, high quality woman? The answer is no. In terms of relationship, she might be a high status, doesn't mean high quality. You know what I mean? That'd be the same as high value doesn't mean high quality men. You could be a high value man and still be a low quality man at the same time. You just have money, you have power, but you don't have the, you're still a degenerate. You have access to a hell of a lot of shit, but at the same time, there's a bunch. You see what the decisions dudes are making. There's some high value or high, whatever men, high value men that make some poor decisions, especially with women. And the decisions that they make in their life. So they could be high value, low quality. It's just the way it is. They just have the resources. With wealth comes power. But that doesn't change the degeneracy in your mind. And it certainly don't change the low self-esteem. We talk about the young brother from Colorado. He's a high status young man, an athlete, but he has terrible self-esteem when it comes to women. His self-esteem is in the toilets. By the woman he picked, by the woman he married. Because one, he believes certain things about his looks. And maybe he's been made fun of his whole life. Maybe he grew up in an environment where he's been, you know what I mean? And it's a sad thing he's not surrounded by people that have any type of influence to redirect him because, again, his self-esteem may be in the trash. His talent is up, but his self-esteem could be in the trash. And that's why he's making the poor decisions that he's making. So it's a tough situation. With a young man, was it Travis Hunter or whatever his name is? Because again, his self-esteem is in the trash. He doesn't understand his power or his value, his strength as a man and the options that he has. He's focused on probably everybody, especially in the Black community, that's probably tormenting him, making fun of his facial features or anything about him for all of his life. And he doesn't feel really good about himself. So, but when you see these women now, and you see the women like the one I was talking about, she's had opportunities. Even this old lady or older lady, her sitting in the dark listening to Christian music, they've had opportunities.
In the same way that I never expected to be so loved on, there has been a couple of comments, people asking, you'd leave your husband just for taxes. It's not taxes. It's not the taxes at all. It's the deception behind the taxes. And if it were the first time or if it were the second time, but after God shows you several times and then you don't do anything about it. My name is Deborah. I'm 66 years old. I've been married 33 years. And I'm in a situation now. I'm getting a divorce. I have my stuff. I have my storage. And I'm taking stuff little by little. And the house hopefully will be on the market by this weekend if the shower's finished. I've literally made myself a little bit sick trying to get all this done. I've been doing all the things, safety deposit box, PO box, changing everything, making sure I had my life insurance policies, making sure I had my insurance switched over to just myself, making sure that I had everything in my name separate. I was standing in the kitchen 11 weeks ago, this past Friday. And when I suggested to him under our LLC corporation of us doing
these people need to go outside. They need to go outside and touch grass. And I don't understand in terms of personal relationships, when did the internet became people's community in terms of for advice on relationships? They tell me there's not a pastor. There's not anybody that you could talk to other than the internet. I mean, it's a tragedy. I mean, they're going to be studying this. The mental health damage that has been created by social media will be, attention is the most dangerous drug in America right now. And everybody's giving her advice. From what perspective do they, like, you see some of these people on the internet sometimes, I just scratch my head. I look at the dating and relationship coaches. I look at people like Umar. I look at all these tragedies on the internet. See, it doesn't require anybody to have a real background investigation to make YouTube videos or TikTok videos. They don't check your background. Should even me. You have me as a peaceful life on this platform. How do you know I'm not out here? I'm not making this video from a storage container or some shit. You don't know. These people are giving advice on the internet. You have no idea what they're talking about. But women are living by the advice they're getting off the internet. Like, you see popularity of people like Sprinkle and all these gurus and stuff. Well, worse is like, even for the young, even for men, okay? These dating and relationship coaches or game guys. Have you ever looked at them and studied these dudes? Like a dude been married for the last 25 years. He's talking about dating and pickup game and gaming women. 90% of the situation with women is whether they're attracted to you or not. Whether a woman is attracted to you or not is 90% of it. The other 10% is being properly socialized by your father and family, being in the church, talking to women, understanding female nature, being a well-developed person, being a person that has values and morals, and that has self-esteem. But 90% of it is with attraction. If a woman is not attracted to you, if she has no desire for you or looks at you, what is it that she wants? Is it either financial support and benefits? She's going to want that anyhow. But all the game in the world is not going to help you with a woman that looks at you and she doesn't really want to be with you. What am I going to teach you? Does this woman have a genuine attraction or desire to be with you? That's step number one. If the answer is no, because when women really like you, they make it easy for you. Shoot, many times they'll even correct certain things. For instance, if a woman is really into you and you try to do wasteful things on her, like spend money, she might even say something to you. Why are you spending all this money? Why are you doing all that? She'll start complaining about you wasting your money because she actually likes you and she wants to be with you. You don't have to watch a video about texting and pick up game. Oh, she'll text you. She'll let you. You don't have to wonder about a woman that's really into you. You don't have to wonder about that. So why would I want to teach you how to attract women that don't like you? When you walk around every day, women can see you. When you walk into a store, they see you. When you walk up and down the boardwalk or anywhere else, women can see you. If you're not getting choosing signals from them, it's either because one, they're shy, or two, they're not attracted to you. Now, social settings and whatever else is probably the best way to meet people in general. Just meet people because it's a network, and then you can see people for who they are in their organic environment. But I prefer young men and men in general be in social networks and social environments where they meet people organically. So if I were out here teaching game, get my peaceful life game coach, talking about all this shit about women, for what? When 90% of the equation has to do with how much a woman is attracted to you and how much she values you. That's 90% of the equation. Why is your self-esteem so low that you're trying to talk a woman into liking you? That's the fundamental problem. If you're trying to talk someone into liking you, then you have some low self-esteem. You have some self-esteem issue. It's really what that really comes to. If she likes you, you'll know. You'll know by her behavior. You'll know by her behavior. So that's the fundamental problem. Now, in this current dating and relationship market, we have a problem with mental health and delusion when it comes to women. A woman that's average may think she's 10 times better than a regular average man. And that's a huge problem in the current marketplace that we see now. Now, in terms of men's self-development, you self-develop and become the best version of yourself, but you want to organically meet people in an organic environment as opposed to, chasing behind anything, any women or any of that other nonsense. It just doesn't work. So anyhow, we're dealing with this delusional state of mind that's going on out here. And again, these women are not victims. They create their own environment out here. And what time is it? 6:37. Wow, I'm in live stream for longer than I expected. But again, going to the internet looking for emotional and psychological support from a bunch of strangers on the internet, giving advice in relationships, and then when you get out here to the real world, you understand this is not Narnia anymore. This is the Serengeti out here. And it's real out here. You say, Debbie goes to hell, you. Oh, damn. It's her again. Yeah, I mean, like, what do they think is out here? I have no idea what they think is out here. I have no idea what they think is out here. Even for us men, out here, there's you're dealing with maybe the 5% women. Even for, don't matter how squared away you are as a man, how much money you have, how much resources you have, or how much options you have in women, you're still dealing with the small percentage of women based on the current climate with social media. You're dealing with the 5% option of women for serious relationship or long-term relationship. First of all, we have a mental health crisis. We have a we have a delusion crisis. We have an environment for the last 50 years where there's been no accountability for women. So you're probably at a 5% rate when you add in social media delusion. And like I said, that's why I said with this T-Hap, listen, don't judge. Let these women keep talking. Because they'll tell you the whole history and story about their life and a history and story about their relationships, and you'll know right away. So what they'll do to another man, they'll do to you. Because they have no conscience. They have no conscience. If you talk to a woman, she has created a story in her mind of what happened to her relationship with another man. In that story, she's made herself a victim. So when you're talking to her, she already has a victim story. She's not going to say what her responsibilities are or what she did with a relationship. She's only going to talk about how awful that guy is. But she's not going to talk about her side. She's not going to tell her story. She's not going to tell what she did in that situation that destroyed that relationship. Any woman you talk to, they're going to throw out the word abuse. They're going to say the guy was a degenerate. They're going to talk about this, and that. They all have this trauma story. And even no matter what religious marriages end, the guy was to work according to them in their mentality, because they have a bunch of women that's going to get around and support them. But they've really assassinated the guy's character. The guy could be a solid dude, hardworking dude, taking care of his family. They have literally destroyed this man's character and created this false narrative about this man. That's just the way they move, nowadays. Character assassination. He said she divorced her husband for 33 years, 33 bros. Don't even live that long. She must be getting married in her 30s, which means she beat the buzzer already. But yeah, again, they be down. These women right here. This is the specimen for the Gambia. But the Gambia has put up laws now. They put a stop to all these old women coming down to the Gambia. She's too old for Jamaica. The Jamaican and the Caribbean dudes, they like, this is my African brothers in the Gambia. My African brothers in the Gambia, one is coming your way. Look, it is what it is, man. Survival is a bitch, right?
Certain job together.
Oh my God, I can't take these religious.
Deception. But the laughter through each room that I can remember my sister being here tonight. It was very exhausting. I went until 4:00 this morning, and every room had things that meant something to me, not for him, because there's nothing but deception. But the laughter through each room that I can remember my sister being here, who was diagnosed with ovarian cancer, left me. And I remember my baby.
Oh my God, this is the disaster. Listen to this crap. Ugh. Enough already. Get your ticket to the Gambia. And, join the rest of those women in the Gambia. Where's the Gambia? Get the rest of it. I'm tired of listening to her sob story. You know what? Send this, I got the place for her. I got, Here's my solution to the sick. Oh, you know. Yeah, I got the solution for her. I got the solution to her right now. We're gonna move along. We're gonna help this old lady out. Let's help her out, gentlemen. We're gonna help her out. Forget about all this. It's just too sad. Get some excitement. There's hope for her right here. The Gambia, baby. We're gonna send her to the Gambia.
Fun with a black man.
Yeah.
And then go back to the husband in the UK, yeah.
With its total population of 2.6 million people, Gambia enjoys relatively untouched beaches. On the flip side, these beaches birthed the infamous Gambia bumpsters, known for exploiting lonely grannies from Europe.
So we got the Gambia bumpsters. There you go. There you go. This is a solution. See? A peaceful life. Your boy is always solving problems. All that sitting alone, crying about divorcing her husband after 33 years. Ladies, I give you the Gambia. Yeah, he said, yeah. Hey, you guys, hit the like button. If you want to support the channel, please do. I have a solution to all these old grannies. I know they've changed the laws in the Gambia to try and block this, but there's still needs there. There's still economic needs in the Gambia. Get your flight ticket. Nah, I'm just joking. This is a solution to your problem. The bumpsters in the Gambia. Jamaica is done. You can't go to Jamaica because the fat chicks have taken over Jamaica. So you got to go to the, when you're old, you know, you got to go to the Gambia, baby. Come on.
In lonely grannies from Europe in the name of love and pleasure. In the end, it's a sad tale of lost money and dignity.
The only thing he came for was a visa, passport, have a better life than he had there. It was his escape. He's got what he wanted, but it wasn't me.
And it is a perfect example of the famous saying,
don't judge a book by its cover.
For some, though, the ending is great and pleasurable. Before we delve into the bumpsters, let's look at This is Afterworld. Thanks for watching. This country has Princeton beaches with affordable beach resorts, hotels, and lodges.
Yeah.
Coupled with the fact that Gambians are generally friendly and hospitable people,
Friendly country to anyone. So which country do you come from?
it makes it a place to be.
There we go. Let's get to these bumpsters. Yeah, there we go.
Mind being tame to white granite in nation popular. It all started when this country popular. It all started when British travel agents offered budget-friendly package vacations to this little West African nation. They don't mind being tame to white grannies. They look at how much they will earn by making them happy in any way they want. It is actually difficult to go along the beach as a visitor from Europe without getting a marriage proposal. The "Can I marry you?" comes with showers of compliments and the true Gambian experience in bed.
Hey, this brothers and sisters, hey, salute to you, man, Deadly Raver. So I appreciate the $5. He's man. Here's a little dirt in your pocket for the weekend. Keep on living in peace. Salute to you, man. Appreciate your support, man. Look, man, this is solutions, man. You gotta like who like you. You gotta like who like you, man. You know what I mean? And for these women that have disrespected these marriages and you're old now and you get on the dating market and you're having problems out here, you know, instead of calling guys like me jerks, you gotta catch that flight sometime and get these bumpsters awaiting.
Gambia bumpster is a slang referring to harmless, unemployed young Gambian men who live off white female tourists visiting their country. They have an enviable yet intimidating physique, with popping abs as a result of innate working out. Their well-toned bodies are a big attraction, and they use them to lure female travelers holiday in this tiny West African country. Surprisingly, there are older men in this group who are smooth operators. A good number of Gambian bumsters are people who gave up on their education for various reasons. Theirs are tiring, low-income menial jobs which they don't love at all. Thus, hunting for lonely white women along the beaches pay 100 times better than working on their elusive odd jobs. The question one might be asking now is, despite the bumster tales, this country is practically safe for single women. Bumsters operate on mutual consent, and these men are friendly. Besides, you still can enjoy the Gambian holiday without falling prey to this social ill. Africa is always safe for you, anytime, any day, anywhere, and anyhow.
The bumsters, that is as funny as hell, man. Yo. Yeah, I'm saying, like, instead of granny crying on the internet, there's options in this world. I mean, like, you know what I'm saying? Remove that from the street. I look, instead of sitting around on the internet crying about old relationships and shit, you know, instead of doing this crap, right? Instead of doing this on the internet all day long, like, this is not gonna get you nowhere. Listen to this crap.
Who sat right there? And he's gone from the virus. Next month will be 4 years.
Yeah, good.
I'm just emotional for all the members. So let me take you for a little view. I know I've got to change the picture on the frame TV before the realtor puts the sign in the yard. They brighten with me at all times.
Oh my God.
So excited. There's not enough.
Yeah, it's like, you know what I mean? She's the perfect specimen for the Gambia bumsters. Get there early. Get your pick of the litter. It might cost you a few bucks, but at the same time, you can go out with a bang. There's a few solutions here. Yeah, he said it wouldn't be that big of a problem, except she had been married for 3 decades. What does she think she's gonna find out in these streets? There's nothing. Like I said, she got to consider that flight to West Africa. I don't know whether she lives on the East Coast or the West Coast of America, but hey, I know there are cities that have direct flight into West Africa, non-stop flights into West Africa. Maybe what, 6 hours, 7 hours in the air? Because Gambia is right there on the tip with Senegal. Boom, you land right in Gambia. Boom, you're there. Exactly. We offer solutions on this channel. Crying about, whatever, I got to do a story on those Gambia bumsters, the young bucks that be tuning up these old ladies going to Gambia. They like the old white ladies. And I know why they like the old white ladies. Because being a brother that understands the Caribbean, the old white ladies' Western Unions are on time. That's why they like the old white ladies. See, the black women don't like to pay. The old black women don't want to pay these dudes. The white ladies, that Western Union be on time. That's why these Caribbean brothers down there, they're like, yo, they go to the white chick, then they go to black chick. They go to the white chick because they know that Western Union is going to be on time. The black women try to turn them into like serious relationships. And they be wanting the dudes to because they're matriarchal culture in America. So if an American black woman goes to the Caribbean, see, a lot of people don't know this. She'll get into a relationship where she's paid for play. She's paying the guy, but then she'll try and bring him to America and try and get him to get a job to take care of her. And they'll be like, yo, you old. You're a cougar, but you don't want to pay. So when they get the older white women have no problem spending their divorce checks on the young dude. They have no problem like just putting it out. Western Union, they understand the deal. That's why the Caribbean dudes be selecting the older white women, because they got that divorce money, they be willing to share it. The older black women, they be like, yo, you have to get a job. No, I'm serious. They don't know, like, come on. Yeah, they be like, yo, you want your Western Union on time? They get themselves an older white woman. They ain't trying to, like, she be sending you Venmo and shit. Oh, no, I don't know if they have this shit there. Maybe I look at that Venmo in Jamaica. I don't know. She's sending you cash. They call you, just calling you to see whether you eat today. I put a couple hundred in the Western Union for you. Yeah. Them older white ladies, them older black ladies be like, why don't you come to the States and maybe you can go to community college for a year and get a trade so that you can help pay these bills. I love you, but you gotta work. Man, they're like, yo, hell no. I just talked to Jessica. Jessica said I don't have to work. She's 55 and I'm 28. Why am I going to work to take care? See, what these old women don't realize is that young men will not work hard to take care of or provide for old box. For old box. Old box is roadkill. Roadkill is on a Friday night. It's 11 o'clock at night, and there's that cougar at the bar. Now, instead of getting out here in the Serengeti, trying to hunt some younger, fresh, wild running deer, that cougar at the bar is easy prey. Some young bucks be like, old head, I'm going for it. She still got a little body on her. She's fresh kill. She fresh out of divorce too? Prime target for a good pounding. So the young guys will eat roadkill. That's how they see these cougars. Now this one right here is beyond American level consumption. She's too old for American level consumption. Now you get some broke older dude. Even he may not try it. But she's not fit for consumption anymore. This is a Gambia specimen. This is definitely Gambia. But you get like a Tracy Ellis Ross looking older lady. These young bucks is beyond that. Now, you gotta hit that and run. Because Tracy Ellis Ross have you out there marching in the Pride Parade or something like that. You be a young buck. Tracy be like, hey, why don't you come with me and go to the Pride Parade? Like, yo, get out of here. So the young bucks got to hit like Tracy Ellis Ross and run. You know what I mean? She have your ass, Tracy like, come with me to Pride, some shit like that. Now you got all kinds of debauchery going on and shit, You say, man, gotta get out in the Philippines or Thailand at some point. I just wanted to walk up and down the streets with my headphones on and chill, man. Hey, man. Hey, if you go to Thailand, man, make sure you go check out the north, man. I usually go up to the Udon Thani area, away from all that debauchery, you know what I mean? Nice and quiet up there, nice community, got my gym. He said, they treat old box like puzzles, Hellraiser. Do it over, right? Yeah, Yeah. Well, Tia Mowry is still prime real estate. Like Tia Mowry is like for a cougar, man. They'll tear Tia Mowry up. For a cougar, man. Let me tell you, a young guy be on. Like Tia Mowry is too young in terms of, and she looks good. So she makes the perfect cougar. Like this granny right here, this is Gambia material. Like Tracy Ellis Ross is perfect cougar material. But like I said, you got to get out of there quick. Because that extreme liberal mentality, she'll have you walking around the pride parade. So it's like a dude just smash and run with Tracy Ellis Ross. But Tia Mowry, perfect example of one of those women that just going to get ran through. Because she still has a good body. So she's still good in the West. Her and Tracy Ellis Ross is perfect specimen for quick pump and dumps in the West right now. But, I mean, I don't look, I'm not into all the debauchery, but at the end of the day, they still have body on them. This one here, she's finished. You know, maybe she'll find some, maybe if a guy is like 86, you know, guys like 86, he may go for something like this. He said, man, shit, that square booty. We throw my name off in my video. Hey, she still can get action because she works out, she takes care of herself. She get that action. You know? Is she something that men want to keep? Hell no. Now, you know, because she not, you know, women don't be giving up that money. So, you know, it is what it is. But women like her and Tracy Ellis Ross are going to have a lot of options for sausage. Lots of options for sausage. Now, the men that she wants, man, they ain't messing with no treasonous woman. And they know her history. It's like Tyrese's wife. You know a woman's history, and you're like, yo, now you know what to expect, right? But it's what it is, man. Yeah, you're dealing with a situation with these women. I mean, what can I say? It is what it is, you know. But again, you know, my philosophy and the philosophy that's always worked for me is let these wild horses run free. That's it. You can't tell him nothing. He said, she's getting action already. She like the old chick had it all, and for some reason decided to throw it away. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Graduating from marriage and shit. You know, making videos about graduating from marriage. You can't tell them nothing. You gotta let these women crash out. And you gotta be like, listen, don't judge. It ain't gonna change anything. So it is what it is, man. But anyhow, I'm gonna get out of here for the night, man. It's like 7:02 at night. I'm usually not here in the nighttime, man. You know what I mean? But I will be traveling soon, you know. I will be traveling soon. He said, TK, travel, married, fuck, and Chuck. Yeah, absolutely, man. But Travis Hunter has a self-esteem issue. And I feel sorry for the young brother. He had, you know, it's hard to overcome that, especially, that's a self-esteem issue. You know, it's what it is, man. All you can do, you know, like I say, when I get off this stream, I see women around and I talk to them and whatever else. I don't tell them nothing. I don't give them advice. If somebody asks me a question, I'll answer a question. But I don't disturb their whatever. They want to, whatever. I don't correct any of their thinking. Let them run. You can't change. Look, again, it is what it is. With that being said, I'm out of here, guys. Hey, Deadly River, appreciate the support. You guys want to support the channel, please do. You can hit the Cash App. You can hit the Super Chat. You know, we want to keep independent men's content going. But the reality of the day is that these women are in the situation they're in because many of them, most of them, have disrespected their way out of relationships. They have disrespected their way out of relationship. There's only a few exceptions of women that are actually victims of abuse and mistreatment. And 99% of the time, they're telling lies about the men in their past because they've created this, they've made themselves a victim when they have been deceitful, treasonous, and disrespectful to the men that have had in their past. Period. That's just the way it is. And you see them on the dating apps, you would probably be best served doing a thorough check on their background and their history. But that being said, I'm out. Talk to you guys later. Enjoy your evening, guys. Out.